Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. We need to have an amendment, a motion, to adopt the agenda as presented.
Moved.
Second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passed. I don't have a gavel, so. The minutes that we have to approve tonight are the minutes of October 18th. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes that were presented? Bill, you're getting good.
Can I comment?
Go ahead.
There's no corrections because it was done by Wendy.
All right. If there are none, someone make a motion to approve the minutes of October 18th.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. Okay. Highway report, Danny, you were on the hot seat.
Paving 121, if anybody's been down through, you can see that it's all done. We started on the shoulders and, today, we'll be working on the driveways and the shoulders the rest of the week. I don't know if we're getting everything done this week, but we're working on that. Townsend Road update, that's all been paved. I coded that slip. Now, they gave a estimate or a bid price on it, and then they came in higher. But our bid is done by the ton and by the liquid index for the order for the paving. So that's how it ends up. Whatever they end up using for tonnage is what you pay on. Been that way for many years. Because what happens if you don't, you bid it by the job, they're gonna do the exact tonnage and they're just gonna cut it down so it'll be thinner in places to make their tonnage come out. If you look at the bid sheet that went out, it's on there per ton, base and top.
So basically, we have to pay this bill.
It's the same way we bidded 121 down here east. It's the same exact form that we use. We've used it through the last 10 years at least.
But if you take the measurements and figure them out, it doesn't come up to that much tonnage.
Unless they went thicker.
Yeah, this is one
The
thing.
slips are there. They produced all the slips, the trucks, the time, everything.
But I just don't agree with them automatically going thicker. Either the grading goes off or the road does rise up when it comes back from Townsend, if you notice that. But, I thought we voted a amount of whatever it was, 19,000, whatever, at that meeting.
I know it was a flat amount myself,
You know, the bid's based on the ton.
but I didn't.
They gave you an estimate amount, the tonnage.
Well, it should come out a lot closer than that.
You know, or you can call them and tell them. I mean, that's,
I
you have the ability to do that.
Stated in the bid, Tom? Is it stated in the bid tonnage?
On that flat sheet where they give the price.
Well, I guess if that's how it was bid, and that's how we agreed it, then I guess.
Did they use the same tonnage that they did?
No, they went over. That's why the bill is higher. They used more tonnage than they estimated.
Did they pave a longer distance?
No, it's thicker. You remember, a ton is not a lot of material. So it adds up fast and a ton is, it's 100. Oh, I don't know what they bid, but it's like $100 a ton. So it doesn't take too much before you're off by a few thousand.
Okay, okay. I think we need to go to executive session because this might get to go to court just for a couple seconds, if people could leave the room.
FEMA's not gonna set this.
So we need to discuss this.
What can we do at the end, or you want to do it now?
We can do it at the end, but I want you to make a decision tonight, what I'm
Okay.
supposed to do to them, so, but, yeah,
Okay, let's go into executive session
at the end of the
at
meeting.
the end of the meeting.
Do we have a copy of the contract that we can look at?
I have it done,
Be in your office.
I have it done, too.
And did anyone lose the bid because of the difference between?
We had one bidder,
One bidder.
and we had sent it out to
There was only one
8
meeting.
or 10 people.
So let's not discuss this anymore until we get
Yeah,
executive
please,
session.
yeah.
Upgrade on the guardrail, Danny?
November 12th.
I just wanted to finish on that. Yeah, I want a decision so we can write them on that.
Well, we're going to executive session.
Yeah.
So the guardrail will when?
November 12th is the date you gave me. And they're bringing, they did not put flaggers in, we were gonna flag, but as things have changed, because we don't put flaggers now. They are bringing flaggers of their own, and it'd be around $600 for flaggers for the day. If someone can find a couple flaggers, we can provide it, but
You mean 600, including flaggers,
$600 just for the flaggers,
just for the flaggers?
for the day, yes.
Good job. Danny, I'm sorry, I lost track. Are you giving an update on the guardrails?
Yes.
And we need $600 to put up guardrails.
No, the flaggers.
I understand that, but where are the guardrails gonna go on?
Cabell Road on the bridge,
Okay,
and they're repairing the ones on Route 35 in Dorchester. It's the one that we bid off at the beginning of the summer that they're just, getting around, where we get prices beginning of the summer. To do it from Lafayette.
And we got a price for them, for the guardrail and for the work putting them on.
I'm glad we're gonna get to the Cabell Road one. That's great.
Anything else, Danny, you need? Oh,
I'll just note, talking with Danny today, the guardrail, 5,500 roughly is the estimate for the rails, right?
And the flag.
That'll be charged against the capital budget for the guardrails.
that's correct.
And then the $600 will go somewhere else.
No, that's 5,500 is the whole price,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I don't think the $600 for the flag is a capital item, so.
It's the project, it's guardrail projects. that we use.
Anything else, Danny?
Yeah, I have a
Gravel.
question.
Eastman Sand Gravel is crushing right now. It's $16 a yard in the pit, $21 a yard delivered. We did we got prices last year, and the prices are still lower than what we got before, and I'd like to get 1,000 yards of it for mud season. And whatever we don't use in mud season will be used through the summer next year.
How much was the delivered price?
$21 a yard delivered.
Hey, who's doing it? Who is it?
Eastman Sand and Gravel.
Are you happy with that, Robert?
They made it the way we want it. They're crush it up however we want it made, so yeah.
So you had it delivered.
That's up to you guys. We could truck some of it. I don't know if we could truck all of it. Just coming on into winter. We could truck some of it though.
It's $5 difference.
That's less wear and tear on trucks. And labor.
Well, you want a motion to buy the gravel, is that what you want?
In the past, we bought it from them. And,
Right, but I mean, you want a motion?
It'd be nice, yeah.
Okay.
I need the amount of gravel and the cost.
1,000 yards. $16 a yard in the pit, and $21 a yard delivered.
Does the board have a preference to whether you want to see it picked up or delivered, or a combination of?
You know,
I think it should be delivered. We just don't have time to do the work that's out there now, and, you keep adding to it, use your own trucks and stuff, then we still get further and further behind.
I'm good with that. I don't think we've touched any of our gravel budget, because everything we've done this summer has been flood work. So,
I agree with the delivered price.
Actually, you want to include that with the motion? Yes?
I haven't heard a motion.
Well, somebody's got to make it. The motion, I mean, I'll make it, is that we buy 1,000 yards from Eastern Sand and Gravel at delivered price of $28 delivered. There?
Yeah.
Second, somebody makes second.
$21 a yard.
Yeah, delivered.
That's from the second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so Danny, go ahead and hold your ground. Anything else that you need to discuss with us, or we need to talk to Danny? Yeah?
Joe, did we come to a resolution on the $600 for the flaggers? Are we gonna try to find 2 flaggers of our own? Where did we come out on that?
That's all part of the price, I thought.
No, we got prices without them having flaggers, but
So, do
we
we,
only have one flagger unless one of the highway crew does it with them,
well, you don't want to do that.
so.
That's an all-day job.
So, but time out, it's 5,500 for the job with them doing the flagging.
Yes, you have to look up the original price, but it's under $5,000
Okay.
for the guardrail work, so it should be right around 5,500 with.
Right, and we approved that already, we,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was not with flaggers at the time.
okay.
I have a question on, will the pavement you just did, is that gonna be painted, the lines, at any time?
Apparently, Bill, I was in to see Bill today because they were doing Townsend Road, and apparently the state is running out of paint.
What kind of, when you were coming in, was that painted out there?
No.
Okay, they painted, according to them, and I haven't been out that way on 121, but they were out that way on 121 and painted, and they painted Townsend Road out. And they said they haven't done anything over there yet, but they were going to, and this was probably time for them to quit in the afternoon, so that's all I know.
But they ran out of paint.
No, in the statewide,
Yeah, statewide.
they're really, really low on paint, so they're only painting those sections that never been painted. So if they're painted 2 or 3 years ago, they're not doing those. But they painted Townsend Road. Like that shows that.
Last year you did the Houghton Hill, right?
The state picks the spots. We don't pay for it. The state picks the spots.
Oh, we paved it,
We paved it, and
but it's
they,
not painted.
has anybody been out there tonight?
Where?
Holtonville.
Yesterday.
They said that they painted it this afternoon. Okay, but I don't know if they did or not. I haven't seen it, but they said that they painted that way, and the only thing that way they could have painted.
It's just nice to have those white lines on.
The white, they don't do the white lines.
They don't anymore?
You have to pay for the white lines. The state does the yellow lines. only.
Years ago, Kathy, when Marsh County Yellow was on the board, we contracted, I think it was 1 or 2 years to do all the white lines.
It's really a safety thing. I feel it.
So I'm hoping they painted the lines, but I can't tell you they did. They told me that they painted out that direction. I don't know what that means.
Anything else with Danny?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
We have to decide, FEMA wants to have, its, meeting. What do they call it? A discovery meeting. Recovery scoping meeting, which is, for us to give them a list of all the projects. No, I'm sorry. For us to discuss with them in general what projects we have. And so that they understand what services they're going to need to give us. And they propose those meetings for this Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Or anytime on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. anytime during the day. And I would figure, Danny, myself, John, and Joe, did you want to be?
Yeah, I can. I can't make it on Thursday.
And,
but
and perhaps Kim.
Yeah. I can't make it on the 8th, but I can do it the other days. I can do it on Tuesday.
Tuesday of next week?
I believe so.
Okay, the only thing we have on there, right now, you have budget in the morning, but
Right.
you're gonna talk about that later.
On the 9th, it's at 4.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, yeah, both of them.
Okay.
It's still in the morning.
Got it.
Okay, and, so, can you make it Tuesday? And anytime Tuesday,
Me?
John,
I don't have a problem with any of them.
okay? So I'll just set a time with her, on Tuesday, I'll get with Kim and set a time.
Well, it depends on what the board decides on the budget, whether it's in the morning or afternoon.
Yeah, I got that. And then we'll meet, it's gonna be on the owl and it'll be here,
Right.
okay, on Tuesday.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
And she's coming, or is it on the computer?
Some of them will be coming, but there'll be others, FEMA, maybe mitigation and so on, might be talking from Boston, or they may be talking from New Hampshire.
Okay, anything else? Danny, or from the board, for Danny?
Well, I'm staying for the whole meeting because you're going in executive session over the
Yeah.
paving and I need to know the date, the time for that day.
All right, if there's nothing else, Kim's not here. But we need to decide if we want to change the schedule for the meeting. Right now, both meetings are scheduled at 10 o'clock on, 9, was it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I don't remember.
10 o'clock this Thursday, you can't change that.
This Thursday.
You can't change that.
Why not?
Because you don't have 5 days, it's a special meeting.
Well, originally, the memo I sent out was to have the morning meeting on Thursday and then have the afternoon meeting the following week. That was my recommendation.
I move that we, schedule the second budget meeting on November 9th from 4 to 6, consistent with Joe's original recommendation.
November 9th, on
Oh,
Tuesday.
you're right, okay.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion on that?
No, it just gives opportunity for folks that are working that they can go to the meeting.
Okay. If there's no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so to make it clear, the meeting this week is at 10 to 12. And the next week's meeting is at 4 to 6.
Right.
Okay? All right.
And Joe, just a process clarification question. For those organizations that would like to attend the budget meeting and advocate for their particular line item, do they choose whether they're going to come to the morning or the
It's up
afternoon
to them.
meeting? It's up to
I
them.
forgot. Yeah. Okay, the next item is the Act 250 preliminary hearing at the Steve Hitchcock with the issues there. As I understand it from Bill, we need to just appoint somebody who's going to attend that meeting, is that correct? Or find out who's coming?
You need to do two things. You need to appoint the person or persons that are going to attend during the whole process for the town of Grafton. Okay, and, at the pre-hearing, there's probably not gonna be much evidence. It's probably it should be just a discussion of what are the issues you're interested in and why, so that they can decide at that pre-hearing, what's gonna actually be heard at the hearing, if there is one. Okay, and I say if there is one, because if at the pre-hearing there aren't any issues, then they can decide it based on the regulations. And, with regard to, oh, Eric Stevens needs to get in, I'm sorry. There you are, Eric. Then decide who's going to attend, and then decide what are the issues. Decide what are the issues, and decide who's going to speak for the town, who's going to represent the town based on that. But you have to tell those two people what they're going to talk about.
Yes?
It's also our understanding that if someone is not at the pre-hearing, then they cannot attend the hearing.
Well, we would be represented by a person. The town is the party. No, for us, no individual is a party. The town's the party. So whoever you tell them is going to be at the hearing for the town, that's the persons that will be able to speak for the town.
Okay.
I don't even think, we had this discussion earlier today. It says in there, organizations have to name a person. I don't think we're an organization. We're a municipality.
Correct.
And so I don't think it applies to us, but let's pretend it does apply to us, so we have that homework done in case they say it does.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill, because it says the municipality and affected state agencies are entitled to party status. But I'm just wondering if that still means we need to register or not.
I don't know, but let's just
Okay,
do
let's
it.
just do it. And just full disclosure, Joe, I have registered as an observer
Right.
for this hearing, and so that means that I will not participate in the hearing.
That is
I will
correct.
only observe. But I just want to build on the point that Bill just made about what's going to take place at the hearing. In the application for the pre-hearing, it does state that the applicant is going to do the proposed wood splitting, is going to make the proposed wood splitting equipment available on site for a live demonstration of the equipment in operation. So in addition to whatever discussion is taking place, there will be, at least as far as this application is concerned, a live demonstration of the equipment in operation to address the decibel issue, I think.
Well, so I'm willing to participate for the town as chair. Unfortunately, I cannot do it on the 8th, but I can do it whenever the other situation is, because I became a nurse here now with my wife's operation. I have to take it to PT, so I can't cancel the date. So, I don't know who else can go. Can you go, John? You can't go on the 8th?
Well, I'll go on the 8th and tell them, I'll go on the 8th, and then it's the only time I'm going, and I'll tell them who's going to represent it.
Yeah, I'm willing to, are you willing to represent the town?
At the hearing
At
itself.
the hearing, the actual hearing?
If I get home today,
Well, nobody knows yet, but I mean, would you be willing to do it? Okay. But I just can't, there's no way I can attend. Can you go for the town?
I don't want to be involved in that.
I understand that, but
Okay.
somebody has to represent it.
Well,
Suzanne can't.
Suzanne can go for the town for the 8th and say that the persons that are going to represent the town at the hearing is going to be the two of you.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
I'm happy to represent the select board as long as that's what you would like to do as part of the process. For sure, I'm signed up, but I'm signed up as an observer.
Right.
I'm not signed up as a party.
Right, but we would,
Okay.
you would have to just indicate to them that the individuals who will be at the hearing will be John and myself.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, and I think, and I will fill out the form on there for the town and say the two of you would represent at the hearing itself.
Now, is there something else we need to do here, John? I mean, Bill?
I don't think so. There's the issues, but when you read the thing, the town is a party. Okay, let me put it a different way. If I'm an individual appearing, I gotta tell them what criteria and what issues I want to raise. If I'm a town, I think a town just has representation on all criterion. I don't think they're limited to anything, but if there's a particular issue you want, other than a general issue, then let's talk about it.
Joe, it seems to me as long as there's gonna be a demonstration of the equipment in operation, the noise level is the primary issue that's been communicated to the select board so far. So, I think the decibel readings that we'll start getting from that will inform future issues.
I agree.
And the other issue is the general issue of economic development and energy for the town, when 35% of the town, according to town plan or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I
uses
read
wood,
the,
so.
I read the town plan, and the town plan is promoting wood and it's, as a renewable. And I think, you know, obviously, people who are elderly can't do their own wood. So it would be good for the town to have a source for people who use wood. So I think for economic reasons for the town, I think it's a good thing. I don't know about noise or whatever, I'm just talking about what the town plan says. And obviously, we need industry in town, and we need people working.
Okay, and can I just suggest one other thing? If you're gonna present that argument, you have the book and page and paragraph ready to show it.
Sure.
Okay.
But that's not on this coming week, that's at the hearing.
That's at the hearing.
Yeah.
So shall I report back to the select board what happens at the hearing?
Absolutely,
Okay.
if you can. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any other issues with this Act 250 hearing?
So just to be clear, I'm gonna attend as a substitute, right?
You're
I'm
gonna
be a
not,
substitute.
don't call it
For
a,
the-
you are attending as a select board representative, and the persons who will be at the hearing will be Don and Joe.
Okay, I'm attending as a select board member at the pre-hearing. John and Joe will attend at future hearings.
Yes,
And so my job is to report back what happens at the pre-hearing.
yes, and we'll put you on the agenda for the next meeting.
All right. Sounds good?
And in the meantime, tomorrow I'll fill out the form.
Okay,
Okay.
do we need to sign it or anything? No?
I don't
Do we need to sign anything?
I think it's all online.
The emergency management, we need to appoint a regional emergency management committee for Grafton.
Yeah, there used to be a thing called the emergency management directors and the chiefs, committee, met quarterly, but now they're gonna make it formal as emergency management committee. And, I asked Eric, who's on now, and I'm sorry these aren't working. Okay, I'll get him to work this week, so you can't see who's on. Anyway, Eric's on, and, he and Robbie are willing to be on that, named to that committee, so I'm asking the select board to appoint the two of them as the members of the regional, emergency management committee. Eric Stevens as the deputy EMD, and Robbie Craig as the fire chief.
Someone want to make a motion to that effect?
So move.
Second.
Do we have any discussion on Robbie or Eric? I think they want the choices, but this is big. If not, say all in favor of having Eric Stevens and Robbie Craig become part of this emergency management committee, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I ran into Robbie today at the Brattleboro Orthopedics thing, and he's got a long way to go.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
Yeah, he's gonna have surgery.
Huh?
He's gonna have surgery.
Yeah, he's still in pain, and
Gonna put in a different screw or something.
yeah.
We saw him on Friday night, he's really hurting.
He's a very lucky guy, because most people don't win, the excavator usually wins, so he's very good. Anyway,
So with respect to that, I think as fire chief, he'll be able to join by Microsoft Teams for the budget if he chooses.
I talked to him about that.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna try to make it.
All right,
He's gonna try to attend one of the meetings. And I said there is Microsoft Teams if he wants to. The only problem he has is because we're not handicap accessible.
yeah, right.
But he says he can navigate the stairs, so, anyway, so I think you'll see Robbie here, one way or
Great,
another.
okay, sounds good.
Committee reports. Cemetery, John, there's nothing to talk about, nothing new, we're waiting for Thanksgiving, yes.
We did go up in town, went up at the, equipment, cemetery's equipment,
And did what?
it's in the shop.
Oh, you did get it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
What's there?
So what we picked up was one push mower that I don't think works, a leaf blower and a weed whacker. And I believe some of the workers have they have one push mower still in one of the cemeteries, and I think there's at least one more weed whacker that, Max has.
Okay. Well, if the mower is fixable, we should fix it, if it's not, then,
They're not worth fixing for the price they are.
yeah,
You know, they're like $300-400 brand new, so.
yeah, I know.
Time you had someone work on it. It looks like it's gotten a lot of use out of the one that we picked up.
I'm sure it did. Oh, yeah, anything from the highway committee?
We have a request in from Hardy for an update to the total cost of the Walker Bridge, an estimated total cost for the Walker Bridge. As of right now, Hardy, I have not received that information from the project manager. She assured me today she has not forgotten. And it gives John and me pause because the current quote is 5.136 million, if everyone knows, but they're taking their time, so this could mean an increase is coming our way. So we'll let you know that as soon as we do, and we'll report it back to the select board as well.
Well, Harry, I think you can use 5.2, and there's not gonna be much difference in that. But by the time they start the bridge and finish it, it's gonna be 7 million or more. So I would start factoring some of that into it.
Yeah, well, I guess my recommendation to the capital budget committee would probably be that we go to the select board and say, maybe if it goes to 7 million, we want to borrow the money and spread it over a number of years so that it doesn't adversely impact our capital.
You've been,
John has a lot of experience in estimating these things, and I trust his judgment. The $7 million figure has not come from V-Trans yet.
you've been working with 4.1 million, roughly 4.2, and for how long, and you see the increase in $1 million already. So,
And that's because that increase occurred in August of 2021. So it just hasn't caught up with the budget process yet.
Okay, anything else on highway? Parks committee? The committee doesn't have anything, but I know that Mike does.
Really, nothing major. I just want to correct the impression created at the last select board meeting with regard to the basis for budget estimates to do the parking lot completion and the trail excavation and surfacing. Those budgetary numbers that were estimated are based upon an external source of work. Daniel was kind enough to get Al Sand some estimates quite a while ago, and it was not based upon any particular source, just an estimate based on hours and material consumption, estimated at that time. Who knows what it'll be when we actually do the work, but it doesn't require the town to commit anything else. And we're preparing the application, bits and pieces, and we'll piece it together by mid-November.
Good. Good. I hope you get it.
Yeah, no, so I think everybody does.
Yeah, it'd be great for the town. Personnel committee?
We had a meeting, was it last week with Kim, and she discussed, some of her thoughts along with adding what Bill had mentioned to her. And then we have a meeting tomorrow with Kim and Michelle. And hopefully get everything together
When are the meeting?
tomorrow.
You are? Okay.
Building committee, I know you've got some stuff.
You have, the main thing you had is right in front of you. I sent you, I didn't print out those plans, but if you, I can go down and get them, but if you've seen them, the stairway is not an option. And then he has the option 2 is the lobby. Option 3 is, comes up outside that window and in Kim's office, but would cover the Dutch, you wouldn't have that Dutch door entrance there anymore. And option 4 was outside here. Kim and I, after looking at it and after looking at the size of the Lula, which is a limited utility, limited access, which we are allowed to use according to the Division of Fire Safety, the head of Division of Fire Safety, he can give us the permission to build that in lieu of the regular elevator because we are providing handicap access and we're not doing anything else. If we're building a new building, that would not be allowed. The Lula will only take up 4 feet out from that, from the post office wall and about 6 feet, not quite 6 feet this way. It looked like before it was going to be like 7 feet out from the wall and so on. And so it fits there very well where that cabinet is sitting now. And if you look at the prices,
Oh, yeah.
it's, you know, we have that money available right now. I mean,
So I think it's a no-brainer.
that is a no-brainer, and that includes how much 25% contingency
Yeah.
and everything else, 25% of $20,000. I think what he just doesn't know is what the building materials will cost at that time, so.
Okay.
So 114,750 for that versus 202 over there and out 162 out.
Well, it's 114,000 all total,
Oh, no, 100, yeah, 202 out here and 162 there.
but the inside is 114,750.
Yeah.
That's what you're recommending, option
Option
2.
2.
Kim and I recommend 2. She doesn't want to give up that door and there really isn't any way to work around it. And the way, and I don't know, you would have to ask the people, but I don't think the people want us to mess with the exterior of the building.
I would.
And if we started doing that, I had to work 2 hours to file a 30-page memorandum in order to run a wire interior of the building from my front wall across the top of the basement floor and up a wall about 20 feet, and I had to file that.
Yeah.
So I don't think we want to mess with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I emailed Sue and we're in agreement with option 2.
Good.
So we hope the board would accept the.
You want to make a motion? Kathy?
Sure. For the lift options for the town hall, option 2, we are recommending.
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Opposed?
So let me be clear. So this is the choice you want Kim to,
Right.
this is our final choice that we're gonna do.
Yeah. And I'm still going to go back to the foundation because Liz had promised, when she gave the $10,000, she said, when you have plans and you're ready to do it, there's another $10,000. So I'm going to talk to Bob Donald about that and see if he's going to honor her commitment.
So I'll ask on option 2.
Right. Okay?
It's fantastic that we're this far along on this project.
Say again?
It's fantastic that we're this far along on this project now.
Yeah, I'm really, I was amazed when the drawings came in, I'm sure all of you were,
Yeah, I was.
because that was one option I didn't think would ever fly.
I never wanted to be outside. I thought that was gonna be a
I
horrendous.
didn't want to be outside, but I didn't want it to be there if it was gonna be 6 foot by 7 feet,
Yeah.
big blob, but it's a lot smaller.
What's the update on the heat pumps? Anybody have that?
But they're still in back.
Still that one? Okay.
They're sitting off Long Beach.
And thank you, Bill, for all your work with, getting the architect to dialogue with him and get all the information we needed. Very helpful.
Yeah, the next thing is, what is the exterior what is the interior walls that we can see, what are they gonna look like? And that's anything from glass to, whatever you
Well,
want.
he's gonna make some suggestions, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this where we need to talk about the generators or
I'm sorry?
the generator contracts?
Oh,
Where do we fit that in?
We'll do that in other business soon.
Okay,
The wastewater committee, I talked to Bill again this morning, but Bill was on vacation last week. Time Bond still has not sent the revised document, so Bill is gonna, give her a little ring and find out why, so that's where we stand there. Let's do other business, on the generator. We don't have an option. That's the only, what's it, 2 years ago, I think, wasn't it, John? We put it out to bid, and we got low prices, but they can't do it. There's only one company, and that's the one we have, who's certified to do schools and municipals. So unless you don't wanna have them do it, you have no choice. You have to accept their bid. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. The other companies were cheaper, but they don't have the license to do so. Another state regulation.
For the school contract, does the school pay that or do we pay that?
We pay.
We pay.
We're all
and
paid.
do we usually contract for the 2 visits per year or the 1 visit per year?
the one.
So do we need a motion or,
Need a motion and authorization to sign,
okay,
and, I have them downstairs. If somebody else has to sign them, I'll go get them, but,
I mean,
so the motion would be to approve the contract as presented for both the town shed and the school, and an authorization to sign.
right. So somebody, is that okay? We'll just take those motions, just say it's okay?
So moved. As long as
John?
it indicates 1 visit.
Yeah, I don't on a 1-year basis.
on 1 year.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, any other business? Any public comment?
Wait one second, I don't think I have it. I'm gonna be.
I don't think so.
No, that's it.
Okay. Any public comment? Okay, we need a motion to go into executive session to discuss this situation with the paving on Townsend Road.
Just before we get to that, we don't, Bill, just don't need to point out how section 313, we're gonna go into executive session on the
It's for possible litigation,
Okay, so that's.
contract and possible litigation.
Okay, got
I'll put the on the.
David.
Yeah, I want to say that. I'll just drop it like this.
I should. Yes. I'll take this.
Good, you?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Maybe you're hiding somewhere. I know.
Yes.
And, company. That's what I'm gonna do there.
The last bill didn't have any.
I don't know if finds it or not, but.
A lot of warranty.
But that doesn't be good.
Library doing a good job. How's that? I said he was watching the library. He does stuff, like, he's like. That comes out of here and out.
Everything.
Yeah,
I just,
Very nice.
I don't need very much time for them to do all that.
They were very good.
And their presence in town doesn't scare anybody.
yeah.
Sure, the state dogs run down a lot today.
Really?
Who was?
State dogs,
Why?
I don't know. They do. Oh, it's a camera. But yeah, I mean, I've seen them a few times and then, I used to have to work there. I was sitting on the road and they came up to me and they stopped. They're like, "Can we get through on this road?" I'm like, "Sure, go for it." We made it. So I don't know what was going on. I wish they'd sit in the work zones a little bit more. Oh my God, it's been scary to work on these roads. People, they don't slow down.
I know.
We're supposed to be measuring.
And they don't, not only they don't slow down, if somebody's walking on the road, they don't pull over. Bicycles, I hate. But
That, it's hard to get around bicycles. I followed a group of them from the book press, the bridge there, down there, all the way through to
They
before
don't,
the fire,
let
right,
me
which is
see.
old house, before you can see to go around them. They don't get over.
well, what the problem is, like you start up 35 and they go around a corner, they're going like this, and then they get mad at you.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna go around the corner. Somebody coming down there, I wanna live.
Yeah.
I didn't know that before, but that looks, I don't know if they reached out to the neighbors or not.
So we haven't talked to the community.
No, you won't know that.
So they would receive.
You won't know that
invitation to-
until after this.
But they have to sign up.
No, we haven't even come up with the date we want them to show up.
No, it's up, they have to let us know.
No, that's,
Oh, okay.
we gotta pick a date. We're gonna meet them. We don't know the time.
Oh,
We
okay.
won't know the time until after.
Are you ready?
No,
If, we need to meet them before we can submit anything.
That's what I mean.
yeah, we need to meet us together, I've got to meet and go over this stuff so we're prepared.
Yes, but this meeting is, you can't submit anything until you meet with them, so we need to meet with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
That's
then
why.
they will tell us what to do to proceed.
Yeah, but they're gonna ask about our projects and stuff, and we should be somewhat up to speed on those.
Yeah, I'd pick the furthest state out. I would pick I told Bill to pick the furthest state out. You know?
Well, that's Thursday of this
Yeah.
week.
Well, no, Thursday, that's only a preliminary, then you gotta give them a date by then, right?
No, Thursday, it's either Thursday.
Thursday is the way I take it, it's just,
Then it's right, let's go out as long as you can.
you're just gonna meet, and they're gonna ask, you know, probably like maybe how many projects or anything, but it's gonna be more or less like a discussion. And then would be assigned who our FEMA guy will be.
Right.
I would be shocked if they asked for numbers for the stuff,
No, they don't want
you know, stuff like that. But no, that stuff we need to do, but like I was telling Bill, you know, trying to get the stuff done on 121. I haven't even had a chance to meet with Michelle to do the slips for the,
Okay, well, Bill's passing out, we need a motion
121.
to executive session.
So
You need a
I
second?
think the motion has to cite the,
Yeah,
but Bill will take care of that.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
For contracts and,
And litigation, right? I think that's, yeah, they want.
Okay, so do we have a second to that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Okay, good, so now we're in executive session. Remember, we can't make any decisions here until after we come out of executive session, then we can discuss anything we like. So Bill, what's your concerns?
okay, but my concern is, what I didn't want to discuss it because,
No, I said, what is your concern, so we can talk about it?
my concern is that, how much, okay, first of all, the distance is, has somebody verified the distance? John, did you verify the distance?
Did you tell me?
No, everybody tells me it's 400 feet, and here it's 420.
yeah, the prices are based off of 420 feet by 22 feet wide
Okay,
2.5 inches of type 2 base and 1.5 inches top.
Okay,
So that's 4
We
inches,
let them do the calculations so that it's approximate,
so that's 4 inches total,
yes.
okay?
and so what should have that quantity have been?
He figured it at 120 for base,
And this is his figure.
yep. Yep, he filled that in, 60 for top. And the reason we always do a unit per ton is what they base it on, is because years ago, you've taken bid out as a set number and they find out that it's taken a little more mix. They're gonna make it come into that number by thinning out the mix. So he basically used 2.5 truckloads more than he expected.
Right, but my question is, he knew the tonnage, he estimated the tonnage, and and it's 19, why do we have to pay more money?
He didn't even estimate the tonnage right. If you figure it out, he ain't even close to estimating the tonnage.
Why?
Multiply it out.
Well, I don't know how to multiply it
I
out.
think his
So
tonnage
what is the multiplication?
within, I mean, he has slips to prove what went out there, so he's off 23 ton on base and he's off, 37 on top.
I mean,
It's like four loads.
it seems to me he screwed up and he wants us to pay now.
It's a big overrun, that's what
Or you can do a basic bill comes in, same way, it's gonna be in higher, to use more tonnage.
How much higher is it gonna be?
You know, that the thing is, we voted to do, you know, I had them do down to the town line because they gave a good price. I had them pay the apron on the ledge road up to there. That's gonna be an extra, but their tonnage when they did the main strip, when I left the first day, they were like, oh, we're gonna be within like 20, 30 ton of already, and they're paving over dirt. You're gonna get fluctuations when you're paving over dirt.
Oh, yeah.
If you're gonna bid it by an exact number, you gotta put it out to bid per the job. Not by the ton, per the job. This, I don't know how many years we've been bidding it this way. This is the way the state told us to do it way back when we put it out to bid.
So Danny, is that way of bidding in the RFP, because I don't see it written here on the paving bid, that, that it's going to be an estimate based on what he thinks is gonna be the tonnage, but the actual bill is gonna be the actual tonnage. I don't see where it says that on the paving bid.
So
So
the,
does it say that in the RFP?
so the paving bid is our bid. That's what we give to them. Okay, the paper with it up on the top.
Okay,
That is what we give to them when they bid it. There's more to it, but we don't have it up here. It gives all the scenarios, but this is what we write up for them to bid on. They put in the 120, he typed that in. Under the type 2 hot mix, under quantity. Then the 60 he put in, and he put the dollar amounts in, brings them across and brought it down. So he based his price on $108 a ton for base and 110 per top. It's per ton.
Right.
So if you use more ton, he gets more money per ton because he used more tonnage.
Right, but.
It's an estimate on the
But
tonnage.
it seemed to me, he underestimated the project.
I don't look at it that way because we're the one that provide the bid slip to do it by the ton.
so
I
the
don't,
way
I
you're,
don't understand what you're saying.
yeah.
You're saying that we're responsible because he used more asphalt?
Because we bid it by the ton. And that's what the total comes to, and that's the,
We didn't tell him how many tons and how, of either thing.
you can call him and tell him that he bid
I
the
already told him.
night. That's your guys' choice.
I don't know if he
I will tell you right now, I will not make the bids up from now on because of this. This is the bid form that we've used, and now we're $6,000 difference. You will lose the one and only guy that bid to do the job.
Yeah, and this is fine, if it was $6,000 and the price to begin with was $100,000, that's different. Here you're talking about 19,000 and you're over 6,000. What percent is that? That's quite a percent, that's 30%. I mean, I just don't, understand how we could be off that far. If it was a bigger amount, I could understand it. Like you're down here on 121, I could understand the overage there because of the amount. But not with a small amount like this, yeah. Well, it may be the way we've been doing it, but if it is, it's.
Like I said, next year when we do paving, someone else is gonna do their bits.
We've never ever had a problem with this, Danny.
No.
Both
The 3 years I've been here.
Because even on the bigger projects, we've always added, depending on liquid index tax, so it changes.
Well, why didn't he walk the thing and why didn't he walk this thing and say it's not gonna take 120 tons to do the first run? It's probably gonna take 140.
He can come back and say, well, it ended up being thicker at the two joints. You're not talking, what are you talking total tonnage difference? From the, what he used? He had 120 tons, so on the base, you're looking at, 23 ton. Alright, so they're carrying around 18 ton on the trucks, 18 to 20 tons. So you're talking 1 to 1 1/4 loads more on the base.
Okay.
It sounds like a lot dollar wise, but the cost of the material, it doesn't take a lot of material to make that difference. And then on the top, you know, if you're gonna argue anything, you could argue the top, but I don't think you can argue on the base. The top is 1.5 inches over the base, what they put down. That should be a short shot all the way to the end.
But you don't know what the overage is, whether it's the top or the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom overage was 43 ton.
Oh, you got that? Okay.
On the bill, it shows what he actually used.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
And then on the top, the type 3.
Yeah.
He was over 67 ton, 37 ton.
Well, you have two choices here. Either you pay the bill or you fight it. I mean, this is what you gotta do.
I think you need to, I think you need to hear from him.
Did you call it? You never got back
You
here?
never got back. I think somebody needs to talk to him and say, explain this.
Where does it indicate, here's the thing, I'm new at this, so where does it indicate on this quote that the quote is subject to actual usage?
It doesn't.
That's what I'm confused about. However,
It's
it
based,
seems to me as I listen, that Danny says we have done this before based on actual usage, and that was the understanding of Springfield paving. So how did we
We've never
create?
done that with Springfield paving.
And it
Not
was
since
like
I've been
a
here.
ton.
what?
We've never said whatever it takes. It's been, you bid it, that's your price.
You bid it the same way. It's the same form bill.
I know, and that's his price.
And it's bid right here, unit price per ton.
Yes, yes. He is saying how much he's going to use. If Joe Blow had bid on it and put in 140 and 90, and he would not have gotten the job. Sunapee would have gotten the job, and Sunapee would have to live with the damn job. We didn't have another bidder, therefore Sunapee has to live with what he bid.
Go for it. You see the quality work on paving, go the other way.
I understand what you're saying, but FEMA isn't, if you go for it, if you go for it, you're doing it for PR and for goodwill. But FEMA's not gonna pay 20,000,
No, we're gonna need.
26,000.
We're gonna need.
They're gonna pay 75% of 19,500.
You're gonna eat a lot more than 6,000. But they're not gonna pay, and we discussed that in the beginning about paving full width of the road.
Well, that's not, we don't know.
No, I talked to the lady today, she didn't have any problem with that at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue, Danny. I think the issue is, they're not gonna pay the overage, that's what they're not gonna pay.
What I don't understand is Danny saying that that the expectation for the paving companies was that were not bidding on the total job, bottom line, they were bidding on a price per ton. And how did they get that
They're bidding-
understanding? I don't wanna question Danny's understanding of what they thought they were bidding on.
They did by the ton, that's how we've done it.
and that's how we've
But we
done.
don't set the tonnage.
You know,
They
Bill,
set the tonnage.
then call and argue, because this is not my job. I have done enough other people's jobs in the last 2 friggin' years that I don't need to make the phone call to the guy. You help write this stuff, we put it out to bid, if you guys are in disagreement with the way the bill is, that is your job,
Okay.
not mine.
Okay. I will deal with it, but I disagree with you that this bid was based on tonnage that we made up. It's tonnage he made up. He could have put that he was gonna lay 10 tons and bid $1,000 and then spent $25,000 on it.
Then tell him that.
Exactly.
Is there another document?
That's why I want to talk to him.
You see,
No, you're gonna end up making a bid form out, like you're in the downtown center of Boston, to get work done, and you're not gonna get work done.
Okay, tell me how you bid this out, so that we're covered. You can't bid it out, whatever it costs to do.
It's an estimate. You're bidding on a road that is out of shape, how are you gonna get it to be exact?
yeah, but wait a minute, Danny,
No.
let's look at it this way. Let's assume that you bid this out and there were 3 different people bidding. Okay? So one guy underbids because he knows he's gonna have more tonnage, so he gets the price. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, to change, you're gonna have to change your whole bid.
So if I was in the asphalt business and I was gonna compete against this and I knew what happened here, next time I got a bid, I would underbid the tonnage to be used, and I would get the job. And then I would submit a bill later on and say, okay, what's a little bit more?
Or you would award the bid at the price per ton. I think that's what Danny's saying,
No,
is when he said it's the unit price per ton.
Take it for what they bid on. If you wanna take the number you submitted, go after them for
Is
that.
there another document that goes along with this, or is this the whole thing that the bidder received?
this is part of what they received. This is part of
The
it.
rest of the part is saying what the air temperature has to be,
Oh,
what they're using for equipment.
all right.
John, let me ask you, John, when I was on the board, and Sunapee, and, Thurber and all those people come over and bid, what were they bidding on?
It's on the project, the total amount of what it would cost to.
They figured how much asphalt they're gonna put down, and how much per ton.
The difference is we would have 3 or 4 bidders. Here you've only got 1 bidder, and so it's different.
I don't see how you.
There was no bid specs before. This bid spec is something I did when I would come on road foreman. Before the specs were verbal specs. Am I correct? There was no specs. Everything, they meet John would say, you're paying from here to here, give us a price.
Yeah.
And they submitted just a price.
Right.
We got accused of things not being fair. So we went and we got this from other towns and stuff and came up with our own, with a bunch of them. And that's when this sheet came out. There never used to be one. It was by the job. And what would happen is this guy would come in and he'd be off by 30 ton. So what do? Instead of putting down an inch of top, we just crank it down and we skim it at a half an inch. And then like what we've been magging is you got that little inch that's peeling off because that guy didn't figure right. So what does he do? He gyps you out of the quality of job. By doing this, that guy messed up on his tonnage, but we got a full inch and a half or thicker. So we don't have the problem. Yes, it is an increase, but to go out there and fix it, if they're gypping you, is gonna cost you 3 times more to correct it. You're gonna add milling in and everything. It's hard to come up with one in a small town to make it to be honest with them all the way around.
But I can agree with Danny on the base being off.
That's what I said, if you're gonna argue anything, argue with on the top.
How can the top be off? I
I mean,
guess,
if you have a flat surface, and you're estimating you're gonna put an inch down,
Then you can figure a lot tighter.
yeah, and it might be off a few dollars here or there, but not,
But that's the only thing I would argue with him on top.
not by almost $4,000.
you know,
Is there-
that's the bulk of
Yeah,
it. The bulk of it is that top.
Yeah.
How could you
Well, yeah, no, it's not really, they're both, but Danny, I mean, I agree with Danny, with the base, you don't know, because you could have this, and you had no choice, but when you have a flat surface, and you're gonna put, if they put down an inch, but they made a mistake, and put down an inch and a half, well, yeah, then, but that's their problem, not us.
And because you use more tonnage, was it because of the need to repair it the right way?
No, not on top. You set your base is what levels everything up.
Yeah, but that would be yes on the base. But, on the top, no.
Top should be pretty accurate. You know, 400 feet, 1 inch, like 22 wide, and that should, you should come up pretty easy.
Is
So
there
what do we
enough,
want, we can be here all night, how do we want to proceed with this thing?
is there enough confusion, Joe,
I mean, you need to-
that we should not penalize the guy who did the job?
No one didn't talk to him though. You got
I'm
the
not
message, you never
disagreeing,
called back.
Bill should talk to him, but
You never called back. You at least talked to him.
do you think there was lack of intent, since we're in executive session? Do you think there was lack of integrity in his overrun? Or do you think he misunderstood the way the board seems to be understanding his quote?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's hard to say.
He's a new owner, he's only owned it for a few years.
I think what happened, I think he underestimated.
I still want to verify, I'm gonna go out myself and verify how long it is. Because I can't get anybody to tell me that they remeasured it, that's all I wanna know, did you remeasure it? After it was done, that's all, so I'll go on that.
You plan to go 410 feet.
Okay.
They're the ones that cut.
Well, I want to know that before I talk to him, because I don't want it to be 600 feet, and he had a really
But
good.
how do we want to resolve this? So when we come out, there's gotta be an answer when we come out of executive session.
I'd like Bill to talk with him, make every effort to talk to him. If you want to go out and measure it, so.
Well, I'm gonna do that before I do that, because I don't want him to say, well, it was 800 feet.
So do you want to just let it come out of executive session and let Bill or whoever talk to him and get his take on the thing, so we have the answer before we make a decision?
Yes.
All right, so let's make a motion.
And, yeah, that's.
Let's make a motion.
And I'm gonna finish with Dan. Danny, you can't tell me, I don't know how to do a bid package, so you and I have to work on a bid package together that you are comfortable with. I never knew you were uncomfortable with this, so let's work on something, or get something that we can do.
This is always worked fine. This is what we've used for, I don't know how many years, at least 10 years.
Exactly, so
It was the same thing used, even during Irene, any paving we did.
that's exactly, so what's the problem with it?
Well, things like tonight, there's a problem with it.
Okay,
Well, he didn't do any extra stuff out there that would say he needed more.
Maybe an apron, when you come to driveway, you can put an apron in, and that's what I'm saying, you're gonna end up listing you're gonna have to list every little thing you do when you put them out to spec, to bid. Everything, if you're gonna do it by the job, and it sounds like if you guys want a set number, by the job, you know, you gotta take and list every little thing that they're gonna be required to do.
Well, I'm questioning only because it's damage because of that flooding. Is there damage out there that we didn't know about and he found and he fixed?
No.
He did patch one hole down by the bridge, but he didn't even break that out, but you're talking like maybe a wheelbarrow full of, mix on that. But he didn't even break that out in his bill.
No, Kathy, the road was torn up, P&L, I think, tore it up, I think.
You ripped it out.
He ripped it up. Danny graded it, or somebody, the town graded it, and it was prepared for him, so that's what it was. He didn't-
Yeah.
That's a good point.
He didn't do anything else, that was it. Now, maybe when the grading came, there was, you know, certain areas where instead of
They-
2 inches, it went to 3
They
inches.
gotta
Who
be
knows?
like what's on the end.
But I agree with that's a possibility, but not the top. Tops are pretty accurate, because you got a level surface, you set the thing at 1 inch, and that's what should happen, correct?
But I don't know how they do it, 'cause they figure in.
Well, whatever, I don't know how to do it.
But that's why we don't give tonnage.
Bill, would it, or I guess I'm going to address this question to the board. Would it be possible for us to ask Bill to, ask this bidder if he understood that he was bidding on a fixed price contract of $19,560? Or when he put forth his bid, he understood, it was his expectation that within this range, he would have the ability to charge for his actual usage.
No,
I
I'm not
think it
gonna
would be
ask him that.
helpful to know that from him.
My suggestion is let Bill talk to him first.
No, that's why I'm asking, if Bill could ask him that question.
No, I'm not gonna ask him that question.
Okay.
If he wants to present his defense, he can, but I'm not gonna ask him.
He sent all the slips over, correct?
I haven't seen anything.
The
Dan.
email with the slips.
The only thing I got from him was this. That was it.
You should have a slip.
There should have been an email or slips, and I thought you said that he sent that.
No, I told you he didn't send this.
Well, then you need them before you even talk to him.
Yeah, you gotta look at the slip.
Okay.
All right, so let's go out of executive session. Make a motion.
So,
Second. All in favor, say aye. All right, so now we're back in the real session, so let's make a motion. The motion probably should say something to the effect that, Bill is going to do some research, discuss it, check the slips, and we will revisit this at another time. How's that? Does that work? Bill?
I was doing something. Go ahead. Say again.
I said, we came out of the executive session after discussion that Bill is going to, talk to the contractor, check the slips, and depending on the outcome, we will revisit this at another time. Is that,
oh my gosh.
okay? That okay with you, Bill? All right. If that's okay, so everybody say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.